why is it that like pianists and artists
That's a weird word to say, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pianist.
Yeah.
There's so much
Penis.
there's so much of the word penis in that word. Yeah.
Everything you're doing with that word is just trying to avoid to say the word penis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was like some of the first early days of music, you know what I mean? And phallic worship, Illuminati. We got here so soon.
Oh, because of Beyonce. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Usually it takes a good 30 minutes to get.
Yeah.
into
We had
that
I
shit.
thought we'd at least make it through another blunt before we got to that stuff. Also, I expected that out of Eli. I didn't expect that out of you. Not this soon.
Do you know who my father is?
I'm guessing Dick Gregory at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. I ain't never seen a baby pigeon.
I love listening to his interviews in his later years.
He said, "Where do albinos go after high school?" I never seen that one.
Yo, that's deep. Have you ever read his book?
I just listen to everything he has online.
It's also good. Same as Patrice.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
fucking
Patrice and Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
Anything that they have, and Alan Watts.
It
We'll slip it out.
actively makes me upset when I see anything from Patrice that I didn't ever get to interact with him.
Yeah, he would have hated us.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. he
Alan
hated us
Watts
a
is
lot.
a panty dropper. Especially if you listen to like that, you know how people like mix in like
Chill step.
lo-fi shit. Yeah. Because Marcus was talking that shit on the first day, and I was like, "Well, I'll check it out." And I was like, Then he got my ass.
Yep. Locked
It's like
him down.
Alan Watts doing something like she was like dreams, and then boom. Yeah. And you're already dancing around the house anyway, so it spoke straight to your soul. Life is a dance. Boom. I love Alan Watts. The amount of LSD trips where I've just listened to Alan Watts on repeat is incredulous.
Maybe that's why I can't listen to him that long, because I've never done like psychedelics other than mushrooms.
Well,
Yeah, that's kind of part of the experience for sure.
yeah.
Acid and shit.
Acid mushrooms are just like a different form of meditation without meditating. People who have meditated for like years, like gurus. There's a story of Ram Dass who went to India and he gave some guru LSD and it didn't affect them. And they would talk about how, like, just meditate. How meditation is a stronger trip than LSD. But
you can unlock the same
right, yeah,
chemicals in your brain just through meditation, but it takes a lot.
it takes years of training.
Yeah,
and stuff.
which is why.
I
People
get a
do
lot
LSD.
of joy out of telling people their fly is down.
Is that your new thing?
I don't know why it brings me so much joy. Like
When it's not down.
and I'll try to do it discreetly, like, you know what I mean? But when it's my time to shine,
I feel like you're pretty subtle about stuff like that.
boogers, flies down,
I'll be
you perioded it yourself.
Ooh, I feel like that's a rare one.
Yeah.
That's like more like high school, middle school type days. But like
That's
every
true.
now and then, ladies have accidents. You ever tried to hold a period in?
That sounds like work. That sounds like some hard fucking work.
If that's your story that you're telling today, Gabe and I don't have a story for that.
we're
But
not
Started,
gonna be
I
able
was
to
13. Reading Judy Blume. And no, my mental health story. I just tried this storytelling show the other day, and the mixed reviews are so mixed. So here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give you some more.
Yeah. Remember I was telling you I was feeling weird?
Mhm.
Now it's like I was telling Scott outside after like chugging that junk food. I was like, now I'm in this weird part. Like, is it a burp? Is it a fart? Is it a shit? Do you have to throw up?
yeah.
Just drink
Am
water.
I just gonna explode?
Yeah, this is combust. That'd be a cool way to go out. Never expected that.
I heard a guy did that in front of an embassy recently.
Exploded.
You didn't watch that video.
Nah.
You didn't watch and study that video. Did you hear about it?
No.
This U.S. Air Force soldier, U.S. airman, I think is what you would call him. Yes. So, U.S. airman the other day in Washington, D.C., recorded a video of himself where he was talking about how he was no longer complicit in the genocide of the Palestinian people and how he didn't agree with the powers that be in this war. And then he walked up in front of the Israeli embassy with his, like, you know, his thermos, but it was full of some
gasoline.
Yeah, some gasoline, some kerosene, something like that. He walked up, poured it on his head, put his hat on, stood at attention, lit himself on fire, and then yelled "Free Palestine" a bunch of times.
Until he died.
Until they put him out with fire extinguishers. It's pretty rough.
They tried to put him out with a gun, but
he was white, so they didn't try.
That is the crazy. There's a photo of that legitimately. So the dude's on fire, and somebody's running up trying to get fire extinguishers and putting him out. And a cop runs up just with his gun drawn, like, "You quit being on fire." Like, when the fuck are you doing? Like, how is that your response to that moment?
I was watching that too.
It might be a trick. Like, he might be trying to draw us in with being on fire so that he can.
Right. That's what I thought was going through his head. Like, like he's going to get up from that, be like, "Ha, I got you," and just blast you with a shotgun.
Yeah, so
what?
Take that dude's gun away.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's weird happening.
Yeah.
Now we had to explain that. Mm-hmm. But maybe he ate too many wrap snacks, and that's what it was.
Yo.
That's what he was really feeling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel weird. Kaboom.
A Wrap Snacks Free Palestine ad campaign could actually heal the Middle East, I think.
Yeah. I remembered about an hour into this rolling process why I don't fuck with natural leaf.
Yeah, they're difficult.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But also, if Master P showed up with a golden tank to the Middle East, come on.
Well, yeah, I should have did this before, but I'm going to go check things out.
You feel better? Good. You ready to do podcast? You feel like loose and light and like, all right, you don't have
I feel like
Wrap Snacks on your brain anymore.
To myself in the studio.
You feeling the headphones now?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all taking y'all's off?
He did. We've both had headphones on the whole time, Scott.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we decided at the beginning that we weren't putting on headphones. This is like when we were at the gym and I started doing that other machine.
Yeah, it is, because you were like, "Well, I'm going to take a listen, see how it listens." And then we were all like, "Yeah, we might as well just keep them on."
Oh, I would just put it on and take a listen.
And then at some point you took yours off, and then
Almost immediately. I went, yo, 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 yo. I did a sound check and I was like, that sounds good. And I put it down.
Yeah. Nope, we've just been in here.
My bad. Sorry. I feel selfish. I wasn't trying to do that, guys. I wasn't trying to not be part of the gang.
Here we are.
That's fucking loud. I don't like that.
What's loud?
My headphones.
Turn it down.
I fucking did.
Then don't yell at me.
Oh, it doesn't sound like yelling because I turned it down.
Yeah, it sounds like yelling to me now. I think that dial is like you and me. Like you sent the sound my way instead of your way.
Do you have a dial over there?
Yeah.
All right, now
Is it louder on your end?
it sounds bassier on my end.
Nice.
That's weird.
Good.
That's so weird.
Now it sounded staticky.
I heard that too. I don't like any of that. What's going on? There it is.
The demons.
There it is.
Still
Hello.
Staticky?
Yeah.
On your end? It's not for me.
It's not in my left ear. It's staticky.
Mine too.
It doesn't do that when I talk.
Nope.
You talk.
Can y'all hear me? Is it staticky? What does it sound like?
No, it's not staticky.
It's just from me? Or you're not hearing it anymore?
It was staticky when I talked.
Oh.
Maybe I'm too close.
I don't know.
Is that what it was?
Like,
I was just too close.
Are we too close to the mic?
Hello, microphone.
Well, normally we're too fucking far, so...
Trying to find a happy medium, Tony.
That's good right there.
Is that better?
All right. So, what is your story? Welcome to Stoney Baloney.
Thank you.
Welcome to our new studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Good to have you, Genevieve.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Thanks for doing one of our practice episodes.
How many episodes have y'all done in that room?
So, we did like 10 or 15, and only like 5 of them ended up. Like, we had cameras didn't work on like half of them. at least one of the phones ended up not recording shit. It was fucking brutal. And then we had somebody trying to produce for us, and that shit didn't work. So yeah, we ended up doing.
You did one of the ones with just your phones, right?
Yeah.
Nick wasn't there. We didn't have the producer there.
We were just doing fucking
Yeah.
phones in the room. Yeah,
A bunch of those episodes got scrubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we dropped 2 of those episodes, and then the rest of them ended up.
We need to get so many people back on. Trey and fucking Phil, Ramin, a bunch of people.
Yep. Yeah. Colin. Yeah. We literally.
Yeah.
It was
Colin.
it was at least 10 episodes that ended up not being usable. It was super upsetting.
And a couple of them were really, really, really good.
Yes.
Most of them.
Yeah. So
Maybe
hopefully the second ones will be just as good.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all was able to kind of step it up. That's
I
really
know.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, really dope.
There's no
Thank
dog
And I
here to
hope
worry
this
about
year-
biting.
That is wild. Like,
Sorry.
Yeah.
My
It's
dog-
a fun. Yeah, it added a fun element. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
It's like
hey,
a silly little game.
you're in danger at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obstacle course at Scott's house. Don't let the dog nip you.
so hard to ignore a dog.
Yeah, right. You
Yeah.
want to pet him. It's
Yeah.
very deceiving,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
It's like a furry Venus flytrap, though.
Right?
Not at all. Don't
No.
do it. Don't fucking do it.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, you did. You really didn't even. You were just fucking hanging out. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm the one who started the conversation, and now I feel guilty about my dog biting people. Like, you guys are coming at me, but I'm the one who started this. So
Yeah.
you guys were just talking,
Yep.
just having the conversation, just laying out the facts.
Well,
Dogs be biting.
They do have teeth.
Picture it, Detroit, 2014, 15,
Okay.
winter.
Okay. Like a real cold winter.
Oh yeah, like there's no such thing otherwise. For Detroit.
Is
Uh,
it so? Is it
Oh, now it's sounding
consistently?
like it
Oh, you got
sounds like
something?
no, yeah, it's starting to sound like electric guitar static. Like,
Does it?
yeah, it was when we was getting into it. I just couldn't hear you, so maybe I'll just take mine off.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the only thing because it's not coming through the recording. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And we fuck it.
Yeah, maybe
We'll
there's
band
something.
them.
Yeah, maybe there's a tweak in that. You and I fucked with the dials too much, and now there's a.
Yeah. Yeah.
we
broke
like
it.
offset them.
All right.
So gnarly ass middle of the winter.
Yeah, it's winter as fuck.
Winter as fuck.
Yeah, man. And I was like depressed as fuck. And this was before I was like,
I feel like it's easy to get depressed in Detroit winter because
Yeah.
winter's
Oh my
already,
God,
you know,
yeah.
seasonal affective disorder. You're not getting a lot of sunlight, and then you live in Detroit, and this is
Yeah.
what just a couple years within a decade of, like the recession, all the factories closing, like the in the middle of the decline.
yeah, there's that part of it too. But like everybody in Detroit got something else going on that is indirectly tied to all the shit that happened with Flint and all the things like with the factories and shit. It's like,
Yeah,
But like, it's generations of other shit going on. But like at that time, I was like, I graduated from college, broke up with a dude, was really weird, and I just was like,
the breakup was weird, or he was weird.
everything was weird. Everything's weird. The situation's weird. And so like, you know,
Just the vibes are off. They're
Yeah.
generally not good at all.
internal vibes, external vibes, and vibes in between off. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I decided suicide was the route. But then I started to contemplate, well, all right, you know, plan it out. Like, you know, what's the right technique? What's
Mhm.
the right da-da-da? So I'm like going through it like, okay, can't slit the wrist because
Were you like studying this on Google too? Were you just like Google searching like effective ways to kill myself?
Like, and Google's like, bitch, call 911. Like, but no, like I looked, I was like, well, if you do the slit the wrist thing, it's a lot of blood. And I was living at my aunt and uncle's house, and I was like, I'm the one that usually cleans up around here. So like I don't want to die knowing I left a big ass mess. You know what I mean? Like, and, like,
just the reality of that, like you're at the point where you're like, I really just want to not exist anymore, but you still like, even in death, you still have the burden of like, fuck, but I'm going to make such a mess. That's awful.
Yeah,
God
somebody has to clean
damn.
this up. Someone I care about has to clean this up. There's gonna be poop in my pants. It's not gonna be nice.
The gun method, like I knew where they kept one, or they could have moved it by that time. But it's like I was like, I just never liked guns, and that's
And fuck missing.
But I feel like that's the most perfect time to like guns. To be like, all right, I'm for having guns around.
I think it's sweet and simple, gets it over the way quick, but I've heard so many stories of people go directly to the head, shoot, and they still survive, and now you got this
Hole in your head. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
And then it's
Yeah,
like,
no thanks.
but then if I'm really too successful, like too successful, and then there's blood and brains, who's gonna clean that up? You know what I mean? So then it's like poison, like I guess didn't really have access to pills, so I decided I'm gonna walk to death.
I don't think I've ever heard of that approach.
Well, it is
Holy
wintertime in Detroit.
Oh shit! Of course, like walk 100 feet, basically.
Yep. That's what done. Like I was like, that's perfect. Like I felt like I was a genius for coming up with that.
Eureka!
And
Yeah.
then,
Walk
and
to
here's
death.
the thing, that's one where like people might not even suspect that you know what I'm saying? Like everybody would just be like, "This is a tragedy." You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be like she killed herself. They'd be like, "The poor girl, she died in the snow." You know what I'm saying? It would, so you wouldn't even hurt anybody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
they
yeah.
would be like, "Oh, she killed herself." Damn. They'd just be like, the goddamn winter.
I figured the winter would kill me, or Detroit being top 5 criminal,
Somebody's gonna
murder
find you.
capital, whatever. The streets would kill me. So like, either way, so cold in the deep. All right, so
Do you feel? Do you think that the murder rate goes down in the middle of the winter? Because I remember in Chicago in the summer it like tripled.
yeah,
Right.
Like as soon as the summer hit,
Yeah,
it was like
everybody's
you could hear
outside.
guns all day,
the
all night.
summertime does bring more crime. But like,
Yeah.
But
like,
nobody's got time for killing when it's fucking 30 below and
People
12 inches of
focus
snow
on-
on the ground.
Yeah, people focus on warmer crimes
Oh.
in the winter.
Lots of
So-
arson. Lots of
Yeah.
arson.
So I put all my belongings in the middle of the bed, like my phone, my ID, my debit card, like any like important shit. I think I brought like maybe $15 in cash just for whatever, and then like
In
that's
case
it.
you need a snack. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Or
you
to
might
go to
need
the
a-
afterlife with. If you're feeling like a pharaoh, bring
that's
15
fair.
bucks
The
with me.
Egyptians were like, hey, you got to bring a little coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The jackets are so big in Detroit in the winter that's basically a tomb anyway. So.
I don't know
But
how
that
much
was
it
my other
costs to
plan.
tip to get into Egyptian heaven.
Yeah, St. Paul's gonna want some. St.
Yeah,
Peter, St.
right.
Paul, one of them.
Yeah.
I had another plan.
St. John's.
What was gonna extra
Wharton.
kill me is the winter, the streets, and not wearing any coats or anything, or no jackets or anything.
Oh, you just went out there like
I had on
in a
like
t-shirt, bare skinned.
It was like a long sleeve shirt or like maybe like a hoodie, but like just some high, like some mid top shoes and sweatpants and a shirt, like, and just I was like, that'll kill me. So then I walked all the way from the west side, heading towards the east side, and then I stopped in the middle to get bags for my feet, like some grocery bags.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Because
it's
they were
like-
cold, because they were wet.
Yeah, they were cold and wet, and I was like, I know this is a part of you dying, like, but like it's annoying, like, you
Yeah,
know
it's
what I mean?
uncomfortable.
So I'm like, I don't want to die from the feet up. Like I'm just gonna.
I don't want to die from the feet up. I'm 10 toes down. I'm not dying from the feet up. The fuck?
This killing yourself shit is really annoying. Like,
Yeah.
it is a bitch.
So inconvenient,
I
dude.
just really don't like wet feet. Like
I don't like wet feet.
I don't like cold wet feet. So I was just like, fuck it, and I went into somebody's shop. And they were like, and I was like, hey, can I get 2 plastic bags? And they would look at me, and I kind of had that look where it's like, she could be homeless, she could be suicidal, she could be mental illness, she could be, So I don't know.
And you were like, all of them right now, bitch.
Yeah. And he gave me the bags, and he gave me a water, and he said something like, it's going to be okay, or something like that, right? And I was just like, whatever the fuck you, I'm about to go finish.
You're like, actually, it's not. It's about to be really not okay.
This is literally my quest now. So, like, I've continued walking, and I get all the way downtown, and then I get lost. How you get lost when you're trying to die, I don't know where you going. Like I didn't picked that part of the plan that well, where it's like a final destination, if
Yeah.
you will. So it's like, so then I was like, well, I got this $15 or whatever. Let me go get some cigarettes, because it's like, you know,
That'll warm you up.
and it slowly kills you. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
little double.
It's all it's all building. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get some, I smoke a cigarette, I sit down, and I'm like, well, you downtown Detroit now, so just fucking park it and die. So I'm like, all right, I'll walk around a little bit to find a spot, and then I stumble on this parking garage where my father works at the time. Totally lost, didn't know, like, realized I was at his job. I was very in my head that day. And so, like, and then as soon as I realized where I was, I look up, and he looks at me, and he sees me, and he's like, Jenny? And I was like, what do you say? You look like exactly what the fuck you were about to guess, so why do I have to say anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And so I'm just, he just knew, and he was just like, get in the car. So he made me wait in the car till he got off work, and then he drove me to his house, and I was with him and his wife, and then he rolled a blunt, and he was like, hit this. Basically, he said puff and repent, basically, like, both, like, puff and repent. And those, you know how some parents say shit, and you can't, like, you know, they're the parents, so you can't, like, really.
Yeah, there's no response.
Like, I'm sick of this back and forth with you, spirit but heathen practices. But, like, it worked. Like, I really was like, sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but then cut to a summer. Part 2 of Walk Yourself to Death. Because the first one didn't work. And I said the problem was the summer.
Oh, there's a sequel?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The problem was it was the wintertime, and I couldn't really depend on the crime part of the suicide plan because, you know, the summer brings out the criminals.
And the cold didn't kill you quick enough.
Yeah, and the cold didn't kill me quick enough.
And it was annoying.
Yeah, so I'm like, this time it's going to be the crime part that kills me. So left all my shit in the middle of the bed. That's my move. Like, that's my suicide note. Like, you know what I mean?
That's my suicide
This
note.
is all my shit, my phone. And then I left all my shit. Now I was living with my mom at this time. So, and I was dating someone at the time, and I was like, fuck it. I wanted to be here so bad. Like, at that time, like, I knew what was killing me then. Like, I didn't see visions of where I'm at in comedy, like, right now. But, like, something crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like, actually getting out there and pursuing it, because that was what was really killing me. Because it's like, when I met this dude, I had 2 jobs, and I went from having no job and then just being lazy and smoking weed every day. But all the jobs that we could get required P tests and shit, so you're just fucking yourself. And you know what I mean? Like, so it was just like, fuck it. I was like, I hate being, like, unproductive on weed and not chasing my dreams. And I saw a little glimpse of where I am now, like, being an actual comedian, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and having some purpose, having something to drive you.
Yeah, because this dude, like, we had fun and all, but it's like, you pursue music, like, with no oomph, like, you know, where's
half-ass.
the gig, where's the calls, where's the reaching out, where's the, you know what I mean? Now that you're a comic, you know all it takes to get a comic, like, to be one. Like, you're reaching out to bookers, you're showing up at clubs, you're showing up at mics, you're remembering people's name, all the nitty-gritty network bullshit at the back, and not just the stage time and the performance, you know what I mean? So I was like, I was very, like, frustrated, and nobody, it's so hard to start, you know what I mean? Like, anywho, so
it is. I don't think there's anything else like the beginning of a comedy career, which is why it legitimately, and we joke about this, like, it's why everybody ends up talking about it. Like, any comic who's doing a podcast, because it's such a weird thing, and there's nothing else that's built like that, and it's like.
There's not a roadmap for it, really.
But also the roadmap that is there is what you were saying. It's like, it sucks. Yeah. It's not fun. And most of the time you're just like, am I doing anything right? Like, the first year, you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I suck. I think everybody else definitely thinks I suck. And you're just, like, confused. You don't know how to, like, and to your point, there's no pathway. Yeah, it's a weird thing that just doesn't, like, there's nothing else like this thing that we've chosen to make our life. It's such a weird thing.
And yet, though it's such a struggle, it is far worse to not try.
If it's in you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And so, like, that was what's killing me because I've never been, like, I'm like, okay, I know I'm a stoner or whatever, but it's like, I'm not a fucking bum. And no offense to bums. But, like, I know I'm not one. And I was very sick of sitting around feeling like one. And I just also hate judging people up to a certain point. Because it's like, you know, I felt new to this artist, like, performance where, like, the art depended on me, like, speaking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like, using thoughts and wit because I'm around witty, funny people, but it's, like, no oomph. And I just felt like I couldn't get out. Like, I couldn't get out my mom's house. I couldn't get out that relationship. I couldn't get out the funk. I couldn't get out my head. I couldn't get out nothing. So I said, I'm going to just fucking get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get all the way out.
So I'm like, fuck it, let's try 2.0 summertime edition. So this time, it's the summertime. My fit was a t-shirt, sweatpants, and custom-made Birkenstocks. So, so I'm walking down.
Fucking hate you.
Because you were like, that first time I looked like a real asshole. This time, I'm going out in style.
Yeah.
So
Also, if I'm walking through Detroit, I want to look real shootable.
That's fair. That's
Put these
very
Birkenstocks
fair.
on so they know I don't belong.
just all principle, like, fit, no, like, you know. But so I'm walking.
Pistons jersey?
Hey, listen,
nah.
There's nothing personal, but like, look at you.
That was way before. What are those?
Yeah.
So I do the west side to the east side thing. I don't know what the significance of that is, but you can call it some spiritual returning. I don't know. So I'm walking. This
It's like
time,
you're 40 days in the desert
Yeah.
or something.
I legit, the whole time I'm walking, because I'm like mad at God, but kind of talking to God, but mad at God, talking to God. And like, I remember the story in the Bible about, who was that motherfucker? I always get them confused. It's either Elijah or Elisha, one of them. It's this dude that had so much faith that he took this crazy walk, and God was like, oh, he's stubborn as fuck. Let me just scoop him up now. Like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to get scooped the fuck up out of here. Like, but I wasn't having faith at the same time, I guess. So it was weird. And I was mad at the same time. And I was also like, this is taking a while again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, crime. Like, you know. And
Come on, crime. Someone do me a crime.
And this time I walked so far.
Also, being a woman walking through, like, I hope somebody does crime to me. It's like, I don't think the crime that you want to happen is going to be the one that happens.
I mean,
But also, the thing is, like, part of what drives somebody to commit a crime against somebody is the fact that they seem vulnerable. And if you're out there like, fucking kill me, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the attitude,
wasn't
people are
going
like,
around. Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking go near her. Like, she might get me.
I just was silently inviting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not verbally. And then I walked so far that I got tired. And then I was like, I really want to nap. And so, you know those, like, stumps above, like, a parking spot? Like, so you don't go over the parking spot? It was, like, a fat, wide one. And I just was like, fuck it. I'm going to nap here. Somebody could stab me in my sleep. Or this could be, like, some of the best sleep. Whatever. So I took a nap and I woke up and I was alive and I was like, well, shit, like, where do I go? You know? So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep walking. That was the problem last time. I didn't walk far enough. That's what it was.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't walk to the crime. You weren't close.
More deeper east.
You need to
Detroit
hit the
go.
point of no return.
There you go. So I went further and further to where it's like this weird industrial part of the east side, like where it's like railroad tracks and weird speakeasies and car dealerships, but like the really shitty kind, and then like just no street lights and just like really weird. And then after a while I was like, fuck it, I give up again. This is not it. Like, you know, this plan, you know, this is 2.0, it's not working. So I'm gonna just go ahead and walk back with my tail between my legs. And boy, let me tell you, if you ever try to do the walk of death in Birkenstocks, don't, because them bitches, like, my feet was like,
If you didn't want to kill yourself before you left.
No shit.
I wanted to kill Birkenstock. That's what I wanted to do. I was get the
You
blisters.
know it sucks, worse than fucking cold feet is blistered feet for 2 weeks long.
So I was starting to limp back on my way back to the thing, and it was funny. this dude, I guess he been out drinking. He got on this fence and then he just started throwing up. And I was like, "You all right? Like, you good?" And he was like, "Oh, it's a woman." "Yeah, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and thanks for checking on me. And, you know, I got some weed and, you know, my house right here. And I'm all like, I said I want to die, not get raped. So I was like, so I just kept walking like,
I want to die.
Wrong
not
crime.
live through the worst experience ever.
not my type of danger.
Wrong crime. Wrong crime. Wrong crime.
Wrong crime. So I kept walking.
Not
And
trying
then-
to king shame, just not my thing.
Just
Yeah.
not mine.
Yeah. Sorry.
But then I started to notice like, pieces of
No, it just completely started to unravel when I lit it. So that thing can fuck off.
Fucking raw leaves.
Yeah, dude. Not impressed. Not impressed, White Owl.
Well, it's also because they put that in there and nobody buys them, so it's probably been sitting there forever.
Oh, actually, that's a game. Not impressed, game.
Yeah. Sorry, White Owl.
Sorry. This is the White Owl, and it's smoking great.
Yeah. See,
Thank you.
the unofficial sponsor of Stoney Baloney. The
For now.
Walk of
So I
Death.
tagged them.
Much different than the Walk of Shame.
So there was random art around on the ground because, like, the most artsiest part of Detroit, I would have to say, is the East Side.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be like this plank with a suit and tie, and like the address to the gallery or whatever on the back or whatever. And I saw one, I kept walking, saw another one, kept walking, saw another one, and I was like, "Fuck it!" Like it was kind of like I tried to walk myself to death, and all I got was this art. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm taking the souvenir.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
you know what I mean?
yeah. I
As
gotta
a
have
remember-
something.
Yeah, and then it'll be a remembrance. Don't do this dumb shit
Yeah,
no more. You know what I
yes.
mean? Because it don't work.
You tried twice. You gave it your all. Like, you really did try.
I power walked that.
Yep. You did it. You beat
That-
suicide. Don't try again. She's fucking stupid.
So, yeah. And then I'll get back to the west side. Walking. Birkenstocks, plank board. And then
They thought you were about to gentrify the
so then,
neighborhood.
like, grown men would be coming towards me and then cross the street scared of me.
Yeah. I love that.
So finally I got home and I left my keys on my bed. So I was just like, I just gotta wait out here for my mom to get up in the morning. But some neighbor let me in and then tried to knock on my mom's door and then she was still sleeping and she tried to call me and noticed that I wasn't answering and then finally she heard a knock after a while and then she kind of did the same thing with my dad. Not the blunt part because my mom's very anti-weed. Like, but that's when I started to develop relationships with the institution. But the reason why I tell that story is because it's really dumb, but it's very like, you know, I know the mental institution can seem bad, but the last time I was in there, I put on a 5-minute show for the girls.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, at the med
Nice.
line, like everybody get your medicine and, you know, sit down and these are the rules for the show and thank you for coming. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Plus, the
but-
tapioca pudding there is to die for.
Yo, the food did slap.
And that's why so many people keep trying to kill themselves, is to get that tapioca pudding.
Yeah, you freak the fuck out a few times, and everybody does. But like, eventually, you would get some of the best sleep you ever had in your whole entire life. Like, it's just dope. Like, and there's a nerd in me that like the itinerary that they have for the day, like, is filled with all positive shit, and it's like this is what I can achieve for myself outside. You
You're
know
like, I
what
love
mean?
this shit.
Yeah. Arts and crafts? I love arts and crafts.
Adequate sleep, diet, medication, and like utilizing your time during the day. Like, oh no, like, you know, I'm miserable. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, why'd you go back so much? I don't know.
Just need a little vacation. Just need a little vacation.
Just to get like, man, like I know, and it racks up, and I'll have to pay all this shit back. But it's just like, it was like a blessing. So,
Yeah.
and I had that.
It
that,
got you fucking here.
that plank
Yeah.
is somewhere still in my mom's house.
Oh, you still got it?
And
Oh,
I
that's
still have
cool
those
as fuck.
Birkenstocks.
Nice.
Yeah, those are my HEB shoes.
I love that.
Now I
That's
do the
appropriate.
walk of groceries.
That's amazing. Fuck.
The walk of groceries. Yeah.
Get my chicken salad. Yeah, so like, can you imagine how a crowd would feel about that? Like push and pull. Like
That's a lot. Yeah, man.
You think that's intense for like storytelling shows, or
I don't think so.
There's a way to punch it up and make it cute.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you can have fun because it's
make
not
it more Disney.
As you tell it,
it's not it's not a sad story.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it has a happy ending, but also it is funny. You know what I'm saying? From the out, like the fact that you tried to walk yourself to death, that's fucking hilarious. Like as a concept.
At 25 and 20 like 4 and like where you're healthy as shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. You just got in shape. Yeah. Like that's how you just.
It'd be different.
Like I got abs trying to kill myself. Yeah. Like that's pretty sweet.
How
deal,
dramatic
actually.
is like?
He's out there doing Wim Hof breathing exercises.
My God must look at you like so dramatic, like. Walks or something you're supposed to do to calm the fuck down anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, fuck my life.
Good. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that's what I fucking need you to do to take a walk, I guess.
So everybody needs to try suicide walks. If you want to kill yourself, suicide walk.
Unalive to real live walks. You know, you have to PC everything.
Mm-hmm. I forgot this is my camera today. I've been saying stuff to that camera.
I forgot there were cameras.
And so it's just gonna be a shot from that angle of me like looking over there like, fuck you, game blunts. Retarded. I'm so retarded.
You did do that.
I did. I sure did.
I forgot that you did that. I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah, I'm extra dumb tonight.
I've never tried to walk myself to death, but I have tried to kill myself in a really silly way. So this was right around the time, probably like 24, 26. It's right around the time that my grandpa got put in nursing home and the family sold the house. My dad and I got kicked out. So it was like a really tumultuous time.
God damn, that's a lot in a row.
Yeah, so I grew up at my grandparents' house. My parents are divorced. My dad had custody. And we lived at his parents' house. Grandma died when I was like in 7th grade. And then in my early 20s, first of all, my grandpa had always had like, he had brain operations before I was ever born. He was like one of the first people to have this stent put in to help run fluid, whatever. So grandpa's memory has always been fucked up. When grandma died, his brother became power of attorney. You know what I mean? Like grandpa's always been kind of like functional and can joke and goof and laugh with you, but like his memory is fucked up. So grandma handled all the fucking administrative stuff.
Long term or short term? Like you couldn't remember people or just like.
It's both.
Okay.
It was just very random.
And it wasn't consistent because it was an injury, so it was like some things it would affect. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's just brain damage, you know what I mean? Because they were in there poking around in the 70s when they first started doing brain operations. Exactly. He used to always talk about his dreams. Apparently, Grandpa had really wicked nightmares, and they started happening after the operations, which I imagine so. But anyway, so in like my early to mid 20s, it was my dad and I taking care of Grandpa, you know. Over the years, he had a couple strokes, and it got to a point where before his last stroke, we had to, like my dad would stay home for work 1 week, and I would go to work, and the next, like we would rotate like that because we both worked for the same company, worked for his cousin. So when the rest of the family decided they had to put him in, actually social services got involved because he had been in and out of the hospital for stroke so many times. He wasn't taking his medicine and shit like that. So when they put him in a nursing home, they had to sell the house. My dad and I got kicked out with not a lot of notice or ability to save money because we had been fucking rotating weeks and shifts to fucking, you know, help Grandpa stay home and help Grandpa make sure he was taking his medicine. So then, the family gets split up. We lose the family farm, so to speak, and it was just a really fucking weird, dark time. Like, it's the house I grew up in. It was just like remember Jenny in Forrest Gump when she's like comes back to the house and she's like throwing rocks at it. It's like that moment, but also like not ready for that moment because it was kind of the rug getting pulled out from underneath me. As I got older, I realized that needed to happen. But pushed out of the nest. So yeah, it's just a really dark time. I'm dating this girl and things are fucking weird with us. It's kind of an abusive relationship. She's like super insecure and jealous and fucking possessive and just it's a very like high stress relationship. So I have that going on. You know, I'm starting to make sense of like more of the things that happened to me as a kid. My relationship with my father and some of the darkness and abuses and traumas that happened there. I'm just starting to uncover some of those things. Because also I'm like in and out of sobriety, right? So but I found myself in a really dark space and wanting, you know, to do the same thing you did, but I didn't want to do the walk of shame. I knew the way that I wanted to do that, and the way for me to try and go out was to smoke crack myself to death. Which is just, you know.
You can overdose on crack?
For sure, dude. Yeah, you can just make your heart pop.
Yeah.
But once again, it's like one of those ways you try to kill yourself that's kind of like silly or selfish. You don't really want to die. It's just like an excuse you're giving yourself to smoke a bunch of crack.
Yeah.
Honestly.
To find out how much crack you can smoke, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your threshold? You know what I mean? Everybody needs to know their limits.
So when it comes to me, I didn't really want to walk to death. I just wanted to be a streetwalker.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yes.
But yeah, so I was doing that behind my girlfriend's back, and I went on this like 5-day binge where I was up all night and all day smoking rock, and I would pretend like I was sleeping in until about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and that's when I would start texting her. And then about 4 is when I'd invite her over to hang out. And we were in this really like codependent relationship. We hung out, you know, if she wasn't staying the night, then she was over almost as soon as we both woke up, right? So I was just, you know, doing all these weird patterns. And then when she would come over, between the time that she was there and she left, I would sneak away to the bathroom and smoke crack. I've been doing this for days until finally my throat started swelling up because so much of the oils were getting back there because I was fucking dehydrated because I wasn't drinking water that my throat started swelling up. And my girlfriend had to take me to the hospital, not understanding why or what was happening to me until I got to the hospital.
Probably thought you were having like an allergic to reaction or something.
And I'm still
and
like to the very last moment. Yeah. To the very last moment.
Lots of crack.
Did you try gluten-free?
No.
Oh, see, that's... Yeah.
That's the thing I like about Austin crack is it is gluten-free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You
you
seen
don't even
some-
have to ask.
Yeah.
Little
You know it is.
Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
And from the look of some of those guys, there's a lot of protein in there. It's high protein. Fucking Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
What I don't appreciate right now on these streets,
There's queso in there.
in these American streets, that fentanyl is getting cute names like Fitty. Like,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
no.
no.
Like that's
No,
no.
that's not good.
That's not.
That's terrible.
So what happened at the hospital?
I've tried to hide it and lie and be a bad liar about what was happening to me the entire time up until the moment that I had to tell the truth to the doctor about what was happening. And, you know, she found out and she was not very happy. And that ended a 7-year relationship. But I did get my life. And that was in like the fall, near the end of fall. It was between her birthday and my birthday. She had an early October birthday, and I have a Thanksgiving birthday. And like that time of year for me always gets dark. That's usually the time of year that I fall into a drug binge of some sort for about 3 to 6 months. But I started doing comedy in March of the next year.
Nice.
So it ended up leading me where I am now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Mine is less silly. So it was also, I was younger. I was 15. I might have just turned 16. But I had a buddy who was prescribed a bunch of shit, like antipsychotics and fucking, like, just all kinds of head meds. at a time when those things are much less regulated, and like he would get prescriptions, and then
Like Seroquel shit.
oh fucking yeah, but also like Adderall and Ativan and fucking like everything.
I had a buddy who had Adderall and Seroquel on deck all the time.
So he would get his dose and just stack them up, and he just wouldn't take them, and then he would get like 10 days or 15 days worth, right? And then he figured out that he could go to the doctor that prescribed the shit, and it was just like a shady, shitty, like, you know, mom and pop shop, like pharmacist basically, and he could go back there in between his scripts, and they would write him another one. And so, and he was either the same age as me or again, maybe a couple months younger. So like 15 or 16 years old, and just going up there, and they'd write him fucking scripts. Dude. Because they had his information in the system and they knew him, right? And so, but obviously that's fucking like just a kid coming in and getting, and meds that are like gonna fuck you up, like, and obviously that's what he's gonna.
What year was
this? They
this?
were making shitloads of money. In the 90s, so this would have been like 98, 99.
So this is right around when like about the time that OxyContin's about to get really popular, and,
exactly,
and everything's super unregulated.
You can get whatever the fuck you
it.
want. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you knew what a thing was called, basically the doctor would give it to you.
Wow.
And if you could like pretend to have a symptom or whatever. Yeah. I feel weird when I don't have that medicine. Yeah. And they would just give you a bunch. So we got we got fucked up on everything. Yeah. Right. And that's actually, that time period is why I don't like pills anymore. Like it's been probably like 15 years since I've done anything pharmaceutical, because I just don't like the way it makes me feel. But I did a fuckload of it at that time period because I just didn't know any better. One of the downsides of growing up in the like super, super strict, restrictive house that I grew up in is like I didn't know any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's from the doctor. It's fine, right? So the way I did it was I just took a bunch of fucking pills. So I was beat and shit when I was a kid, and sexually abused when I was younger, and so like I was always fucked up and just kind of depressed and shit like that, and I didn't know what to call it, because also in that family that I grew up in, like there was no, like, a diagnosis wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? It was just like Jesus can fix it, and that was the answer, right? Like there was no like
read some scripture.
Exactly, yeah. And you didn't address anything.
Which that's like, religious abuse. That's
absolutely,
what that is.
Yeah. That's the other side. Yeah. So I took a mix of, it was like 5 of these and 10 of these or whatever, Xanax and fucking everything. I just took a bunch of them, right? And woke up in the fucking hospital. And then immediately they moved me from there to the, what was that place called? Something Shoals. It was in Lawrenceville, like right near my house, but it was the mental institution. So I ended up in there and ended up meeting a guy, not meeting him, but like a guy that I knew from church, who was also in there for trying to kill himself. And that was a turning point for me. Like like what you were talking about, like I legitimately got something out of that, like the programs that they ran you through and stuff like that. And I really kind of understood what these drugs were doing to me, what the idea of drug dependence, because I just didn't know any of that shit, right? So I learned some good shit in there, but he very much was not in that. I forget what he tried, the first thing that got him in there initially, but a week in, I ended up being there for like 2.5, not quite 3 weeks, but a week into us being there, they did a code blue, whatever, shut the place down, and then I see him coming in on a fucking gurney, and we're like, what the fuck happened? So his parents were there, and against the doctor's wishes, they were like, let him go outside and have a cigarette, right? Because that wasn't, at that place, that wasn't allowed. Like, some of them, I guess, that would let you smoke, but like at this place, it was not, you had no access to anything. So they let him go out in the parking lot and smoke. And he goes out there and literally walks up to the very first car he sees, crawls underneath it, rips the radiator hose loose, and just guzzles fucking coolant.
Oh my God.
Until he loses consciousness. And so they found him out there just seizing fucking green liquid gushing out of his face, right?
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
Fucking gnarly, right?
That's rough.
So then he was in a different wing of the place, because obviously he had medical shit that he had to deal with, but then he was in a lockdown place where I didn't see him the rest of the time I was in there. But then I get out, and then literally the last week he was there, they moved him back to like lower, not minimum security, but that kind of idea, right? Where he could, and then he got out and got a fucking some kind of cable or something. I think he broke into somebody's car and got something and tried to fucking just hang himself from one of the lampposts outside, and they caught him doing that shit. So he ended up 3 tries in, and then
that's real determination. That's not like I
was just about to say, like, there are several reasons why I don't want to be a man. One is because statistically you guys are way better at suicide, like, you know what I mean? And there are some things that I'm glad I feel like, you know what I mean? There's some L's that are appreciated, you know what I mean? But, like, that is determination. But, like,
you'll lose peeing outside to killing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was so, but the crazy thing was, between the first and second one and the third, there was no change in him. Like, I could see it. I was like, oh, he's not
coming back.
Yeah, he's not changing his mind. Also, like, he's gonna finish the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it takes.
He's determined.
He's going to end his life. But literally the third time he tried, and he passed out again, and they found him and revived him. We went to visit him in the hospital, and it was me and a couple of the other guys from the church, and we were just like, you're a fucking idiot. And, like, obviously I could only talk so much having just been in a similar situation, but, like, what are you fucking doing? Like, learn your lesson. And I remember that, like, his response to it wasn't necessarily like he didn't want to die anymore, but he had just accepted. He was like, I can't fucking do. Like, he had just accepted. Like, no matter what I do, I can't get this job done. He's like the
opposite of Kenny.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, yes. He's like, I can't die, and so it was like, fuck. And he just gave up. He was just like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna have to live life now. But then he, like,
that's funny.
He was very musically talented, but he would never, like, really pursue it. He ended up starting a band and ended up being pretty successful, and then ended up moving out to, like, Salt Lake City and starting a fucking like a brokerage firm and shit. Like, he's a super successful, like, has a family and shit, like, super happy.
It's just really funny to try it 3 times. Like, oh, guess it's not for me. What did you do? I guess I should have a more positive outlook.
Yeah, and literally he, like, completely 180'd. It was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'm gonna just be a happy person.
Yeah,
it was fucking nuts.
3 times will do it. That's what did it for me. I was like, right. You know what, like, 2 walking, 1 pills. And I was like, I'm not willing to go further in this. Like, you putting so much effort towards, like, if you put a little effort of this towards, like, living, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm glad everybody's alive.
Yeah, same.
High five.
Fuck yeah. We did it.
It's a powerful episode.
Yeah.
Been having a lot of silly episodes. I think the last, like, real deep talk episode that we had was with Jamisha or Jordan.
Yeah, both.
And that's been a while.
Yep. Yeah, those are both in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think before producer, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we had Nick for Jamisha, but I don't. Oh no, we did for both of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Because those episodes both came out. That's the only reason I know.
That makes sense.
They were produced. All right, so here's the name of the game. So, one of these stories that you heard this evening was a fib.
All right.
It's your job to pick out who was lying, who was telling the truth.
Okay.
I want a clock.
Okay, take too long.
No. I'm saying like fucking Jeopardy. Like I want a graphic.
I like Price is Right music. It's fire.
Oh. Yeah, take your time if you want to ask us questions.
For some reason, I'm thinking you.
What makes you think that?
Because the radiator, the radiator fluid, like, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
engine coolant. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, like I'm like that's too weirdly, like, unless this dude has been studying like 100 Ways to Die. I don't know. Like this is so random.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was.
I'm just like, I just can't imagine.
Man, I love that.
What was
show.
the first one again? Okay, so one was the refrigerator. No, one was the coolant. One was the hanging, and another one was
pills.
Yeah. And you said crack. I still think you, because the radiator. I don't know. It's the coolant. I don't know why the coolant really got me.
Well, you fucking got us. You're right. Yep. My story was baloney.
I was like, was this motherfucker a mechanic? Like, working on cars like one of these days.
Straight to the moon.
A little whiff of everyone's like,
Cool it, bruh.
Because like a car guy would much rather just, I'm going to fucking lay in the, I mean, that's probably the most comfortable way to go, right? Is the old hose
the tailpipe? Yeah.
Just put the exhaust in there and you just kind of go to sleep.
And then you just
gently
drift
go
off.
Yeah. With your foot on the pedal.
All right, well, next time I tell it, then he was in a garage fucking huffing on exhaust. This was a blast. This was fun. And also very good stories. Yeah. But
thanks for opening up.
To answer the earlier question, that's absolutely a story you should do on stage. Yeah, that's one. Again, you can punch it up and have fun with it, but that's a good story to tell on stage for sure. Yeah. All right, we appreciate you. This was a lot of fun. Plug your shit.
See Genevieve on Instagram. I post on my stories and throughout reels and posts where I'm at all the time throughout the week.
Where can people find you doing stand up?
You can find me. What you pointing at?
We'll have links below.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah, you catch me at Mothership every Sunday, Monday, and throughout the week. I'll be traveling to Denver, doing 4 shows out there. You can catch me out there. I'm opening for Carter Anderson in Detroit May 11th, and opening for TJ Wary August 15th through the 17th.
Fuck yeah.
Moon Tower this year. I'm on Moon Tower, and then
when?
And then, that is April 10th through the 20th.
Excellent.
And then Just for Last New Faces showcase during that time on the 19th.
Fuck
so,
yeah.
See Genevieve on Instagram.
We'll have links for everything. Yeah.
I'm around Mothership. Gang.
Excellent.
Gang.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
That was a good ass episode.
Good episode. Fun. Hello, everybody.
Thank you.
I think it was the shit. That helped.